What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and I'm here tonight with the review for Black Ink Crew Compton, Season 1, Episode 3, and the episode I believe was titled Opening Up, you guys. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and just jump into the video. Alright, so the episode opens up. We see Tim and we see KP. They are out, they're doing a promotional tour, just letting everybody know, hey, we're getting ready to open the shop up this weekend. Come out and check out the shop. And then after that, we see Lemire. So Lemire is going on a picnic with Danielle. So once Danielle gets to the picnic, Danielle is on 10, and Danielle is, kind of has a stank ass attitude. She's like, "What do you want, Lemire? Like, what are we doing here?" And I'm like, "You could have just, can't you be a little bit nicer? Like, you could be like, so okay, Lemire, like, what's up with this? Like, you ain't done this for me in a while." But had an attitude that she had, I just like, okay, Danielle, really? We gotta have an attitude, huh? And then the thing that was bothering me about Danielle was her part. It looked like it was like invisible. It was supposed to be an invisible part, but the part was too visible to be invisible. But Lemire tells Danielle, hey, when it came down to my reaction to the whole situation between you and Nessie, he overreacted with that one, which absolutely you did overreact. And if Danielle was, I ain't gonna say she was smart, but if Danielle really thought about that, she could have been like, "Yo, bro, why you going so hard? If you ain't got nothing, if ain't nothing going on between you and this girl, why you going so hard about me talking to her?" But Danielle didn't catch that, and he also says Danielle was wrong for the way she came at Nessie, which that is 100% correct. Danielle was all the way in the wrong. Um, yeah, she was wrong for popping up on him, and then she was like, "But you don't invite me into places." Well, if that was supposed to be a quote business, a group, a team building environment for the team, you're not a part of the team, so you don't have to be there. So why would he invite you there? Doesn't make sense, does it? Exactly. Um, but then he does proceed to tell her that there's absolutely nothing going on between he and Nessie, and yeah, again, she doesn't need to pop up on him. I just, if my thing with Danielle is, if you're that insecure and so he cheated on you 3 years ago, when you took him back, you should have took him back and been like, okay, I see you, we good. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go, but I still see you. Just keep it like, hindsight is 2020. That's what I'm trying to say. But for her to just take him back and then always bring this up, you obviously did not forgive him and you did not let it go. And that's all I got to say about that with Danielle and Lemire. So we're going to move on. Okay, so next, you guys, we see Ink dripping. He's meeting up with Voodoo Doll at a bar. And when he gets to the bar, it's not a regular bar that you would go to, where people would be sitting around drinking, having a good time, eating food. There's some bars here in my city that I live in where they actually have bars where people smoke cigarettes in them, and I'm like, I have not saw that in so long, and I can't imagine a bar, a eating bar where people go to eat. How do you eat around people that are smoking cigarettes? Like, that shit is nasty as fuck to me. But that's neither here nor there. So yeah, they're meeting at a S&M bar. I'm like, I have never heard of an S&M bar. Sounds kind of interesting. And Ink Drippin is kind of taken aback, like, oh, there are more sides to Voodoo Doll than what you actually see. And then Voodoo Doll says, the way that Tim was talking the last time that they were together at the beach, it just made her feel uncomfortable. She goes into her whole story about her stepfather being the leader of the cult, how he talked down to women, he was misogynistic, and then she also tells him that when it came down to her mother, she said her mother was one of the first employees to work at Microsoft, but when she got with her stepfather, when I think she said she was about 9 months old, he completely brainwashed her, and I feel bad. I feel bad that her mother was brainwashed. Like, that just tells you how gullible, how docile, how meek she is for a man to come in and completely control her life. Like, I really did feel bad for that. And then your daughter, you subjected your daughter to that kind of situation. I think that's just, it's really sad. And like I said, I do feel I very much so feel bad for Voodoo Doll. So then at the shop, we see that the shop is coming along smoothly, but they have not figured out where each person's station is going to be. They haven't figured out where the big bosses are going to sit. They haven't decided who's going to sit at the front when people walk in. They want KP there, but KP says no. Then they suggest to put Nessie up front since she's a newbie, and she's like, I might be new here, but I'm not new to tattooing, so nope, not doing that. What else, you guys? So then Ink Drippin shows up to the shop, and he has some flowers in his hand. He says they're for somebody named Erica. And Erica, they're like, who the hell is Erica? Well, Erica is Barbie. And she's like, nobody knows, nobody that I'm talking to knows me by that. So then she looks at the flowers, and it's from her mom. And when she reads the card, she gets up and she just throws the flowers and breaks them and walks out the shop. I'm like, well, damn, what's going on between you and your mama? Like, shit. If my mom were living and she sent me some flowers, I'd be like, aw, isn't that sweet? I'd be like, she know I don't like flowers, but thank you, mama. It's a thought that counts. But she just flipped down through the fucking flowers everywhere. I was like, okay. All right, next you guys, we see Danielle and Lemire. So they go to the doctor to get a checkup on the baby. And then in the checkup, they find out that the baby might have spinal bifida. And, I know I've always known what spinal bifida is, but I've been more so introduced to spinal bifida via General Hospital because there's a character on there. If you guys do not watch General Hospital, there's a character on there. Her name is Carly. She's married to my boss, Sonny Corinthos. She's pregnant. They have a baby, and the baby may have the baby does have spinal bifida. They don't know if it's a severe case that can be managed or if it's kind of like what the doctor was telling Danielle and Lemire. That also, if it's a severe case of spinal bifida, then the baby's mobility will be, the baby might not, the baby won't be able to walk and things like that. So the baby will need care around the clock, and even as the baby gets older. So I really did, despite how much Danielle in the first 2 episodes have gotten on my nerves, I really did hate to hear that for both she and Lemire that the baby might have spinal bifida. So what the doctor tells them is he's going to send them to a specialist, and once they go to the specialist, they'll have to make a decision what they want to do. If they want to keep the pregnancy or terminate the pregnancy. I'm like, wow, that's sad. So then we see Barbie and Nessie. So they're out on the streets and they're, putting flyers on buildings, on cars, just to let people know that the shop opening is coming up that coming Saturday. So then Barbie and Nessie goes to sit down. And Nessie says she doesn't really know very much about Barbie, but she does want to try to get to know her. So she asks her, like, so what's the situation between you and your mom? Because, when you got those flowers, you reacted very differently. And she said, yeah, her mom, when she was, I think she said she was 9, I forget how old she was, if she was a year or something like that. I might have her and Voodoo's time frame mixed up. I think she might have been 9 months old, and I think Voodoo might have been a year. Can't remember. But she says that whatever age it was, her mom, gave her to her grandparents and her dad, and her grandparents adopted her so that way her mom wouldn't come back to take her from them. And then she says her mom over the years has called her a dumb bitch, just being very disrespectful to her, and she just does not want to have anything to do with her mother, which I can't understand that part because my mom never disrespected me. Not even my biological mom has disrespected me to that point to call me out of my name. But so she's just saying that there's absolutely, she doesn't want anything to do with her mother, and to an extent I can understand that part, but it's, if your mom has disrespected you like that, calling you a dumb bitch, that's crazy, to be honest with you. Like, damn, I just couldn't imagine that shit. Could not imagine you calling your child a dumb bitch. All right, next you guys, we see KP. So KP is at the shop, and KP is telling them that he's getting, he went to City Hall, and that City Hall redlined him for his permits. And, he was talking about how he needs to hire people to do the job for him. And then Lemire says, well, if you needed people, why couldn't you come to me and tell me that you needed people? Like, I could have got you in contact with some of my people that I work with to help me. And KP is just kind of shooting him down, talking about, this is people who do in the shop, not a food truck. And I'm like, but I'm pretty sure they know the same thing. Like, if they're a contractor, I'm pretty sure they know the same shit. Unless it's unless it's the the hood niggas who just do shit under the table. But unless that's the only thing I could see. But for him to kind of just downplay Lemire like that, I felt the type of way about that. I thought KP was wrong for downplaying Lemire in that way. I really did. So then Lemire gets upset and walk out, and I really honestly cannot blame Lemire because, like he said, if he really needed people to help him, he definitely could have went to him. And I'm pretty sure those people are legitimate. Like I would hope, especially with him running a truck. Like I'm pretty sure he still has to follow the guidelines of the health inspectors. I'm pretty sure he still has to abide by those laws. So for KP just to kind of dismiss him was kind of rude to me. And then we get our tattoo moment of the episode. So we see KP, he's in the studio. I'm looking like, wait a minute, that is Jbsayzwhat. So he is in the studio with Jbsayzwhat, and while he's in the studio with Jbsayzwhat, Barbie is down at City Hall and trying to get the permits taken care of. So we see him tattoo Jbsayzwhat, and he tattooed triple blessed right here on him. I don't have no tattoo right there, but he tattooed him right here. It was an interesting, it was an okay tattoo. Kind of like what they were saying about Nessie in episode 1 when she tattooed Kyle. Wasn't really much to it, but if it's what the client asked for, it's what the client asked for. So we're gonna move on right into the last two scenes of the episode. So we see Barbie. She has returned back to the shop, and she did, in fact, get the permits so that they could open the shop. And then we see the progression of the shop getting ready to open, and then we finally see the grand opening party that they had. You see Lil Eazy-E there. It's a crowd of people there. So they show him around. Then we see KP and Barbie talking, and KP also wants to know what's the deal with her and her mom. And she just tells him basically she don't want to see her because we've already talked about it, the way she mistreated her mom mistreated her. And he says, okay, well we family, like the shop, everybody here in the shop, we're your family. So then we see Voodoo shows up, and Voodoo said to us in her interview that she felt like she may have overreacted to the situation at the beach. And I said it last week, I did think she overreacted, but I had to think about it. I'm like, what, it did kind of come off a little bit misogynistic because of the way Check Your Girl, the way that came out. But I don't think they meant it in any way, shape. I don't think they meant any harm to that one at all. So yeah, she kind of overreacted. So I'm glad she realized that with the help of Ink Dripping. So then Lemire is there, and he's talking to he's there talking. Who was he talking to? He was talking to Nessie, I believe. Yeah, he was talking to Nessie. And while he was talking to Nessie, I'm like, wait a minute, bro. You in this shop? KP is in the shop with you somewhere, and then you got Tim right behind you, and you talking mad shit about KP, like cash money shit. And I'm surprised that Tim didn't say something to him like, hey, bro, nigga, you gonna sit here and talk about him like that? I'm so surprised that Tim didn't say nothing to him. Like I would have checked him. I'm like, hey, bro, so you in my man's shop, you talking mad cash money shit about him, but he hired you to work for him. Like, where you do that at? Where they do that at? For real, I would have. If I was him, I would have checked Lemire. Period. Point blank. So then lastly in the episode, we see Danielle and Lemire. So they've decided no matter what, they are going to keep the baby. And, she has a name, Summer Rain or something like that if it's a girl. And he says, well, if it's a boy, I want to name him Kevin. And I was like, where's Kevin come from? So then he explains it to us. Kevin, because he was like, his mom would light up calling the little baby Kevin. And Kevin is his brother that passed away in a motorcycle accident. And he's talking about how his mom kind of lost herself once he died, which I absolutely can. God, I know that has to hurt. The fact that she had to bury her child before she had to bury her child, and her child didn't have to bury her. So I know that had to hurt her immensely. But it was a pretty decent episode. Be sure to like the video, guys. Leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification button, share the video, and I will see you guys later.